What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining me in another video. So in today's video we're going to continue doing some garage work here, and we're going to combine garage work with, let's say, romance. So what we're going to do today is I am going to do something which I enjoy, which is working in the garage, making stuff, messing around with cars and stuff, and you know, just enjoy being in the garage. I enjoy that kind of stuff. But I am also going to be making something for my girlfriend. So you're thinking, well, what could it be, right? I mean, what could be so romantic about something made in the garage? Well, today I'm going to show you guys how to make a flower out of just metal material, and it's going to be a flower for my girlfriend. I don't want to buy roses every time because they're too expensive, and I'd rather be in my garage, so why not make her a rose, right? Now, I've made her one before, so I'm going to show you guys how to make them because why not? It buys me time in the garage, and I get to make something for my girlfriend as well. So, I mean, I think it's a lot better to make something, you know, for your significant other than it would be to buy it. And if I can do it in the garage, then more power to me. I'm more stoked about that. So let me show you what you need. So we have our cutoff wheel. We have random metal rod. It's about 1/8 of an inch thick. We have some tin snips, and then we have actual tin. So how are we gonna make this? And well, I guess I'll just be showing you. I'll be showing you how. So we're also gonna need a Sharpie, which was not pictured there, and a welder. So I got a, well, the welder's in the back. It was a little too much work to pull it out right now, but I'm going to show you guys step by step on how I do it. Now, seeing as I don't have anybody to hold the camera for me, it might get a little hard to show you the details of every step, but I will show you as best as I can. And hopefully it'll encourage you to go outside, work in your garage, and make your girlfriend something too. And you know what? I know they love it. And if they don't love it, at least you got to work in your garage, right? And that's what matters. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and let's get started. Alright, so what I've done so far and where we're headed with this. So, I've cut out 3 pieces of those rods, or just out of these steel little, I don't know what you'd call it, just steel rods. It was one steel rod, cut out 3 little pieces. So what I ended up doing was I cut them. I did not do any measurements prior to. I just kind of cut one and then just used that same one to cut another 2, and then what I did was I used my wire wheel, which is right over here, to clean up some of the rust. So the reason we're cleaning up some of the rust is because we're going to be using a welder, and we need a nice clean surface to weld on. So that's what I did. So I have 3 pieces right here. Kind of short, not too long. I mean, I don't know. I guess you'd say they're like, I don't know, maybe 8 inches, 9 inches long. Well, that's going to work to be the stem of the flowers right there. So now the next thing to do would be to cut out the actual petals, or the actual flowers themselves. What are we going to do? We're going to cut it out of the sheet metal. How are we going to do it? We're just going to do a random doodle right there, and we're just going to keep cutting them out. So depending on how many of these you actually want to put on, how many layers, it'll depend on how deep on the rod, or how far down on the rod you want to clean out, because you're going to have to weld down there. So I use, just a benchmark of 1 inch, just cleaning it up right there, just because I don't know how deep I'm going to go with it. So I'll show you guys what I actually mean in a little bit. I'm going to draw out some of these little flower petals, and then I'll show you how we do the rest of it. So this is actually really cool. It's fairly simple. You can probably get it done within an hour, hour and a half. So I'm going to keep working on it. Alright, so let's go ahead. Made a basic little design. Now all we got to do is we got to cut these things out using our tin snips for this. Now this doesn't have to be anything crazy. All we're doing is just cutting out our basic design, and then I'll show you guys how to do the rest. Alright, so I ended up making all these flower, I don't know how you say, I guess flower petals? Or these flower shapes. I ended up doing all that. Then I ended up drilling them in the center, right? Because this is where my stem is going to go through. So I ended up making 3 per flower, or per rose. And as you can see, they fit right there. Right, and I did this to all of them. Now, some of these already have holes. These actually weren't mistakes. those were actually just there from the piece of scrap metal that I bought. So there was nothing I could do about that. That was just, it was already there. Actually, I didn't even buy the scrap metal. So I got that. That came off of a set of lockers, you know, the place I work for was getting rid of, and I just thought, wow, you know, like, that's really cool sheet metal to grab. I'm just gonna grab it. So I ended up grabbing it, and you know, it's no big deal. They're metallic wormholes, right? Yeah, that's what we're gonna say they are. So I ended up cutting out these shapes, use my tin snips to cut them out. Now they don't need to be perfect, and I'll show you why in a little bit, because we can form them manually. We can totally make up for that. So I got that done. Now that we've drilled the holes, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab them, I'm gonna take them over to the wire wheel, and because we have to weld these up, all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna grind them on the wire wheel, and I'm just gonna take this paint that's already on there off. Now if you go to a scrap yard, these will already come, or whatever sheet metal you buy will already come bare metal. So you do not need to, you know, take the paint off. So, but unfortunately, since I got it, they already, you know, were a part of something, I do need to take it off. So I'm going to continue. I'm going to clean all these up right here, and I'm going to show you the next step and how we get them to actually get more flower-like and why they don't need to be perfect. Alright, so this is what the finished product looks like. Oh, I guess I forgot one there. But this is what it looks like. So I drilled a hole, and then I just kind of used the wire wheel to clean up some of the paint on there. Now, for some of this, like this one in particular, it's not really going to matter. Once you start welding on a thing, the paint is just going to burn off. So you just want to make sure, this has 2 holes, but you just want to make sure that you're, you know, welding. So I'm going to use the left hole. So this is the hole I'm going to use. You just want to make sure it's a little clean, just because you're going to be welding on there. And even then, this is really thin metal, so it's not going to take a lot. So I've got all these cleaned up except for this one. I don't know how this guy got away, but okay, whatever. And then, like I said, it really doesn't matter what they look like, because I'm going to show you the next step, and we're going to be fixing all of that. So we're going to continue on. I'm going to clean this last one up, and then we're going to start the welding process and show you how to fix this up. So I will catch up in a little bit after. Still have no idea how this guy got away, but I will catch up with you guys right here in a little bit, and I'll show you the next step to this. Alright, so this is what we're going to do. So I have all my pieces ready right here. I've sanded down the center because we're going to weld on this right here. So what we're going to do next is I got a socket. I just put it on my vise. I'm going to use just this Allen. I'm going to put it right there in the center, and we're going to start bending this thing to give it more of a flower-like appeal. So I'm just going to go right on the hole where I drilled and start hammering it in. So what this does is it curves it in. So by curving it in, we have now given it more of a flower petal type of look. So let's go ahead, let's grab another one. We're going to put it right on top of our socket. We're going to grab our Allen, and you can use whatever really, but I'm just using this Allen because it's a good size. Okay, ooh, that one went in, no big deal. So the other thing we can do for this one in particular, we're just gonna have to bend it in manually, and that's still no big deal, right? So we'll fill it in that way, still savable, no big deal. All right, so I'm gonna continue on with the rest, and we should be ready shortly to get these welded on there. All right, so we got all these cleaned up, we got these all bent up, and we got them in sets of 3, right? So we have 3 different stems. We cut out 9 of these pieces, so we set them up in sets of 3. So the next step now is to set them up on the stem, and then we are going to start welding. So we're going to lock this guy up here. We will go ahead and then insert the first one in the series, and then we're going to tack it up. So I'm going to start tacking these up, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like in a little bit. I realize that the light is actually going down right now, so you won't have the best view, but I'll show you as I progressively get done with them, and then I'll show you what the finished product looks like. So I will check back in with you guys in a little bit. Alright, so we got these all welded up now. So now what we have to do is we have to give it that flower-like design. So what we can do is, because this is only sheet metal, we can grab these edges and we can start bending them around, giving them more of a flower-like feel. Bring them up. We can even bend them back a little bit, because it's only sheet metal. Okay, so we're just going to do that to each one of these petals. We're going to bring them up and then bend them over a little bit, and this will give it more of that flower-like appeal. Alright, we're just going to give it a little bit of life now. And we can bend these up a little bit to give it a natural curve. Just kind of mold them up just to get them all to fit together. Okay, and all we're doing is we're using pliers, bringing them up and bending them over. Alright, so there you go, guys. I just welded them all together. This is what the final product looks like. So the next step from here would be to paint it. You can go ahead and paint it whatever colors you'd like. I'm going to leave it as bare as it is right now. So we went from cutting up the stems to cutting up the petals and then welding it all up together and then welded it all up as a bundle. So that is the final product. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and let me know. Leave a comment down below, and just remember, next time you're in the doghouse, refer back to this video. I will catch you guys in another video. Until then, remember to have fun with whatever it is that you do. Go outdoors and just live life to your full potential. Bye.